Hi there. Wow, we seem to have another drawing video. That's cool. This is part one of our series Countdown to Coventry. Today we're going to be looking at something called POP, which is point of purchase, and basically we're looking at ways to store or display products, and in this case we're looking to store and display mini comics. So I want to make something to store, to display my mini comics. I realise I'm drawing with a pencil here, so this may not show up. Let's find out. Excuse me, I'll push really hard, or I'll switch to a marker if I need to. I kind of want a freestanding desk display, something like that, with, say, a back on it. Have here comics, some overlap here, so there needs to be like a lip here. So from the side, there's your lip, and so there needs to be a ground plane for that, a lip moving down, and another plane with another lip coming off it. So we get 1, 2, 3. Try and get another, like fourth. So we have here, here, comic here, and then this comic at the front, and this will be lip. I want it to have some height, so make this tall. Essentially what we're going to do is we're artificially adding some height. I've looked at a bunch of different people's convention layouts, and what you see is a lot of clutter. They've got wire cubes, and they turn their stand into basically a bodega. It becomes very cluttered. It becomes very high. I've seen people with like 12 or 13 foot displays with just prints after print after print. Yeah, print. You got this massive display. Some guy here with a table at the front with print, and some guys stood here looking at it. If he's looking up there, what's he actually going to be seeing? Hardly anything. So I'm not convinced that building high works for an engaging display, because I think you're going to be difficult to see those products when you're stood there. So, but I do agree that having some height, not having everything flat on the table, having something like this, some height, something standing up, works better. So let's look at this one, shall we? So let's lay out some cards. Let's lay out some comics. Work out sort of how many mini comics we can get in a row and how many rows. I'm thinking we want 4 rows. So, but we'll probably have 1, 2, 3. Biggest game of cards ever, this, isn't it? That. Straighten these up. I'm kind of thinking to keep a shelf, not individual compartments. It's just easy to get them on and off. So let's put another row in front. Maybe a little bit more. More. I'm running out of comics. More. Right, that's roughly the amount of space I want for my display. So what's the difference? Okay, between the top of this comic and this comic is about 6 centimeters. And how wide is this? 30 up there. Oops. So it's about 30 to there. 30. Let's say 35 centimeters. Oh, you can't see it anyway off the screen. So from here to here is 35 centimeters. There's a 6 centimeter drop between each row. I'm not sure how tall I want this yet, but I'm thinking probably that much, probably about that much of a platform. So let's get some paper. Let's draft up a sort of a plan for this. Where we're going from there. Okay, so I've got some paper, and we've said that the distance between the top and the bottom of the row is 6 centimeters. So if we draw a flat shelf here, drop down, this drop is going to be effectively 6 centimeters. Got what? 4 rows. So this is top row, 2. Onto. So this is 6 centimeters. That's 6 centimeters. That's 6 centimeters. Our back goes here, but that's a back panel. This is the side panel. So the idea is you'd have a side panel, and then you'd have a back panel that this fits onto. Oh, I've done this wrong. I'm doing a really bad exploded drawing. So you have a back panel, so, and then you have a side panel which fits on the side, and you have one for that side as well, and then you have a series of headers and footers for each layer. So yeah, explain that. So ultimately this doesn't unfold, it dismantles into components which you then slot together like a jigsaw. We're going to be making out a foam board. Foam board is 5mm thick, so we know that we can make slots. So you could have like a side or something. Maybe this is the side here. You have a slot so long. Stick out 5mm. And it might be, say, centimeter. So you'd have a slot that's, you know, centimeters by whatever, and it would just slot in, and this would end up being flush with the side, and it should look quite smart. Okay, so let's not worry about that. As you drop, I kind of want this to be off the ground. Yeah. This is going to be 12 centimeters, 6 at 6. So this is our side panel. That's 12. So it's going to be, we make these square, so this is going to be 6 as well. 6 of 18. This is going to be 24 centimeters deep. You can see that, which is something like that. Add that. Good. That's, oh, I don't know what that is. but height wise 12 watch a comic guide, not do maths. 12, 18, 24, 30 centimeters, even 30 centimeters. That's nice. Okay, which means that the side of this panel is just a bit taller than a sheet of A4, and it's a bit wider than a sheet of A4. So we can get this comfortably. Onto one sheet of foam board because it's A0. Right, we've done that. Now let's talk about how much overlap. You need a lip here, right, to lean your comics against, because otherwise they're just going to fall off. So I would say we probably want, say, 3 centimeters. So a footer, the bit that stands up, is going to be what, 9 centimeters tall. You probably want a couple of slots in like this to be determined, and that would mean that the head, the flat bit that it stands on, is going to be this is going to be 9 centimeters. Let's call it a top. It's going to be 5 centimeters because you've got. Okay, so looking at it this way, this is your footer. It's going to be cool. This is your top, and this is your next footer. Footer, top. The board is 1/2 mil thick, so combined, that's a centimeter. So 1 centimeter, which means this has to be 5 centimeters. Okay, well that works. So at 5 centimeters, we probably want to have 2 big slots there and there. So a 5 centimeter thing, centimeter, 1. It's 2, so it's 3. So this is going to be half. No. Yes. No. It's a centimeter. Half. 2. 1.5. Okay. Okay, I think I've worked out what it needs to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up Inkscape. I'm going to make a line drawing of each component. So essentially what we'll have is, I'm in 2 minds whether or not to have like a footer that goes all the way down, this, or just keep it this height. I'm inclined to keep it at that height. It's easier. We haven't got to worry about it, and they can be added in any order they want. Right. Okay. Well, I think we've got something of a plan. I'm going to turn this into an Inkscape drawing. So I guess let's go to Inkscape. Alright, so this is Inkscape. Okay, so I've opened up Inkscape, and based on the measurements that we've taken, I've created these components. Okay, so the stand consists of a backboard, 2 sides, and then you have a series of tops which comics sit on. There's 3, 1, 2, 3. There's 4 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you have like fronts or sides, tops and sides. So top, sides. You have 1, 2, 3. These are normal. And this one is at the front, which has got a bit more of a lip on it. So it should butt up nicely to the front there, which gives you your artificially raised base. So yeah, this is documented size of a sheet of A2. So this just about squeezes onto a sheet of A2 if I get my document properties up. Actually, this is a sheet of A1, beg your pardon. So this just about fits on a sheet of A1, which is the size of a phone call. So we've got just enough to make this. So yeah, the slots are all 0.5 mm. The thickness of foam core board is 5 mm. So that's 5 mm, 5 mm, and yeah, it should be good. The backboard, obviously this is bottom backboard, that's the top. So you'd want to have some graphics or something there, and then you have your comics down here. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Just gotta get some foam core now, I guess. Okay, we've got components done now for a mini comic stand. So now let's turn our attention to some book displays. I want 3 of them. I want one for Space Crash, one for Who Made England 2nd edition, and one for The First King of England in a Dress. Now those 2 books are going to be roughly the same size. So I'm going to use Who Made England, which is a slightly thicker book, like deeper book, and we'll design a stand based on this. And we're going to use this website, which is called templatemaker.nl. It's a Dutch website, if memory serves. Well, the domain name is a bit of a giveaway. There's loads of templates here for various 3D objects that you can take, adopt, adapt. There's a license, and the license is pretty much you can use it for whatever you like. So it's pretty good. We've got a counter display here, which is what we're going to use, and here we can see what we're going for. Essentially a box with a flat base, tapered side. We've got some dimensions: front, width, length, and height. Front, width, length, and height are there. We can choose our dimensions, and we're going to go do this in centimeters. So the book is, I've got a ruler and I've got a copy of the book here. It's 13 centimeters wide, so we'll make it 14 centimeters to give ourselves a bit of wiggle room. And as we input the data, we can see it changing. The front lip is 2.5 centimeters. I'm just going to, that's what it looks like. Yeah, that's not too bad actually. Quite like that. I might go 3. No, 2.5 is fine. 2.5 is fine. Now, the height, it's tapered, and what I kind of want to do is have another piece sticking up from the back of this. So it doesn't have to go all to the top of the book. The book, incidentally, is 19.6 centimeters tall. We can go to what? 16 centimeters, 17 centimeters. That's the height. Height is going to be 17 centimeters, and the depth, well, the length in this case. So the book is roughly 1.5 centimeters thick. So I want to limit them. I'll have some stock of this, but I don't want to have it all on the table in one go. I'd rather have it in a display so we can ration it. I don't want the place to look like, I don't want stacks of books everywhere, it'll look untidy. So how many copies do we want on at once? So if we're saying it's a centimetre and a half, then roll up, watch an artist do maths. Let's think about this. It's just a little bit. So if we're saying it's a centimetre, 1.5 centimeters, and we're going to have what, 6 copies. That's going to be roughly about 9 centimeters or so. Let's see how that looks. This is a good example of what our side's going to look like. I think it needs to be longer. I think that's more like it. I wonder what it fits into. Will it fit into A3? I very much doubt it. Nope. So this is going to be presumably A2. Where's A2? We don't have A2. Do we have A2? No, we don't have A2. I can't remember what that is. Okay, well it's going to fit onto an A2. We'll get 2 of those onto an A2 sheet, I reckon. And we can have this as tiles. So let's just fit the drawing, page the drawing again. Yeah. Let's do a check. Let's see what it's going to be. It's going to be A3 dimensions. Sorry, we want A2 dimensions. And what's the dimensions of A2? It's 42 by 59. So we'll do custom. Oh, blimey. Okay, so it'll fit on A2. Oh, it's going to be tight. It's quite a lot of cardboard actually, but okay, we can work with that. So fit the drawing. Once you're happy with PDF, go A4 portrait, and then we can set it to tiles, and we can see it's basically overlapping a load of pages of A4 paper, which we can then print off, stick them together, and you've got a template basically. So having done that, there's an option to make a donation, and that's going to be our counter display. That will be for 2 books, and we'll do one now for 2 copies side by side of Space Crash, and I'll print that off and we'll have a look at it. Okay, well, I've took that template. This is the template I've made. I've cut it out onto card. It's not a very thick card, it's a bit ropey, and I've just stuck it together with some masking tape. And this is sort of a proof of concept. I want it this high so we can put this logo there. It's a bit unstable. I think realistically with a firmer some physical copies of Space Crash 1 and 2 with some firmer card, like this is like essentially it's watercolor paper. It's like a thick watercolor paper. So I think with thicker card, I think we'll change the design slightly to make this deeper. This is what is this, 5 centimeters? It's 8 centimeters. We could probably go 14 centimeters, and I think maybe 13 or 14 centimeters deep, and I think that'll become a way more stable thing. It's a tricky one because I don't want to have tons of stock on display. I'd rather be filling up the displays and then have stacks of them. But I think this looks a little bit more interesting than flat books piled up. So yeah, as issues 1 and 2 is Space Crash there. Hey, so yeah, we need to get some card. We need to get some like fairly sturdy, rigid card we'll make the book displays out of them, and we'll just slap a simple graphic on there, and we'll keep that simple. This one, I want to dress this up a little bit. We'll put oh sorry, you can see my hand. We'll put the spaceship at the front, the crash spaceship. I haven't got any with me, and we'll put some panels from the comic on the sides, sort of faded out. If you've ever got the ash can, the inside cover, that's what we're going to be going for. We'll have the logo is going to be tricky. This bit's fine, no problem at all. This bit, we might have to treat that in black, so it would be against a white background. So it'll be space crash. I think that'll work nice. I think it'll look grand. Okay. Fascinating times. All right. I think that'll do for now. So in this first episode of Countdown to Coventry, we've got displays now for the books, the mini comics, and the Space Crash, which is pretty much most of the books. The remaining of the books are short runs I've got of some graphic novels and things like this. I'll just get some easels to put those on. I'm sure they'll be fine. These are this you know, Who Made England. They are really they're really the superstars of the show. So yeah.